splendid, 素晴らしい、立派な。provide a splendid opportunity for patronage.
Cherish.
心に抱く、大切にする。
Cherish dreams of becoming a film star. Nourish.
栄養を与える、育む。
Be well nourished and in good health. Hatch.
孵化させる、孵化する。企む、
Chicks just hatched from eggs. Enlarge.
拡大する。
A way to enlarge your knowledge. Furnish.
備え付ける、
Furnish a room with a bookshelf. Indulge.
ふける、甘やかす。
Indulge in a strange hobby. Surrender.
屈する、放棄する。明け渡す、
Surrender to the urge to buy a dress. Kneel.
ひざまずく。
Kneel down in prayer. Stumble.
つまずく。
Stumble over a step. Wither.
しおれる、衰える。弱らせる。
Wither away in the heat. Creep.
忍び込む。のろのろ進む。這う。
Creep into his mind. Ache.
痛む。切望する。
Be aching from the injury. Await.
待つ。
Await the arrival of a rescue party. Foresee.
予知する。
Our ability to foresee the future. Illuminate.
照らす。解明する。
Illuminate the entire room uniformly. Dread.
ひどく恐れる。
Dread the sound of the doorbell ringing. Depict.
描く。
The emotions depicted in comedies and tragedies. Signify.
意味する。重要である。
Raise a white flag signifying surrender. Swear.
誓う。罵る。
Swear to be friends forever. Dictate.
指図する。書き取らせる。決定づける。
Dictate the order of events. Recite.
暗唱する。唱述する。
Recite her own poem to the audience. Enroll.
登録する。入会する。登録させる。
Enroll in Japanese classes at university. Execute.
実行する。処刑する。
Funds to execute the strategy. Fake.
偽造する。ふりをする。
Fake my father's signature. Disguise.
変装させる。偽る。
Disguise herself as a man. Stain.
汚す。着色する。
Stain my t-shirt with paint. Bind.
縛る。
Bind the package with string. Slap.
平手で叩く。
Slap him in the face. Omit.
省く。怠る。
Omit her name from the list. Grind.
穀物などを引く。
Grind wheat into flour. Undermine.
徐々に蝕む。
Undermine the president's authority. Bankrupt.
破産させる。
A firm bankrupted by poor management. Extinguish.
火。光などを消す。全滅させる。
Extinguish all lights in the building. Mend.
修繕する。改善する。
Mend broken earthenware. Congratulate.
祝う。
Congratulate him on his birthday. Certificate.
証明書。免許状。
Issue a birth certificate. Encyclopedia.
百科事典。
A free encyclopedia on the web. Biography.
伝記。
A passage from a biography of Einstein. Masterpiece.
傑作。
Collect masterpieces of modern art. Rhyme.
詩歌。韻。
Recite a nursery rhyme. Means.
手段。視力。
A means to an end. Mold.
鋳型。性質。
Pour the molten steel into a mold. Scope.
範囲。余地。
Extend the scope of the research. Bulk.
大半。傘。大量。
The bulk of the early immigrants from Europe. Trifle.
些細なこと。少量。
Waste my time on trifles. Pill.
錠剤。
Wait for the sleeping pills to take effect. Dose.
服用量。放射線量。
The recommended daily dose of vitamin C. Vein.
血管。静脈。特質。
The veins visible through the skin. Odor.
匂い。気配。
The appalling odor of the river. Pilgrim.
巡礼者。
Pilgrims on their way to Jerusalem. Deed.
行い。
My good deed for the day. Carriage.
車両。立ち居振る舞い。輸送。馬車。
The first carriage of a train. Mischief.
いたずら。
Get into mischief. Slaughter.
虐殺。畜殺。
Stop the large-scale slaughter of seals. Haste.
急ぐこと。
With indecent haste. Thirst.
喉の渇き。渇望。
Die of hunger and thirst. Monarchy.
君主制。君主国。
Abolish a monarchy and establish a republic. Reign.
治世。統治。
During the reign of King Edward I. Heir.
相続人。後継者。
Be heir to a large fortune. Pardon.
許し。
Beg his pardon for being late. Legislation.
法律。立法。
Enact legislation against discrimination. Cabinet.
内閣。戸棚。
Ministers at the cabinet meeting. Ward.
病棟。行政区。
Patients in the surgical ward. Surplus.
余剰。黒字。
Have surpluses of food and water. Arithmetic.
計算。算数。
By quick mental arithmetic. Mercury.
睡眠。 彗星、
Heavy metals like mercury and cadmium. Monopoly.
独占、独占権、
Retain the monopoly of political power. Friction.
不和、摩擦、
Friction between parent and child. Collision.
衝突、
Come into collision with a train. Fusion.
融合、連立、
The fusion of TV and the internet. Breakthrough.
大発見、飛躍的進歩、
Make a breakthrough in astrophysics. Spectacle.
相関、見せ物、メガネ、
The spectacle of the Grand Canyon. Eminent.
高名な、傑出した、
The most eminent British composer. Notable.
注目に値する、著名な、
A notable feature of this garden. Notorious.
悪名高い、
Be notorious for playing practical jokes. Compulsory.
義務的な、
Finish compulsory education. Liable.
何々しがちな、受けやすい、責任がある、
Be liable to make mistakes. Inclined.
何々する傾向がある、傾いた、
Be inclined to be too optimistic. Static.
静的な、停滞した、
Remain in a static position. Infinite.
無限の、無数の、
Travel through infinite space. Eternal.
永遠の、不変の、
An eternal and unchanging universe. Acute.
激しい、鋭い、急性の、
Feel an acute stomach pain. Abrupt.
突然の、
Bring the expedition to an abrupt end. Swift.
素早い、
Take swift action. Faint.
かすかな、
A faint memory of my childhood. Tender.
優しい、柔らかい、微妙な、
With tender loving care. Humid.
湿気のある、
Grow in a hot and humid atmosphere. Damp.
湿った、
Be damp with the morning dew. Rotten.
腐った、不快な、堕落した、
Go rotten in a few days. Sour.
酸っぱい、不機嫌な、不愉快な、
Have a sour taste. Sore.
痛い、腹が立って、
Have a sore throat from a cold. Savage.
獰猛な、容赦のない、
Be chased by a savage dog. Crude.
天然の、未生成の、そやな、
Soaring prices of crude oil. Approximate.
おおよその、
The approximate number of refugees. Intermediate.
中級の、中間の、
Take an intermediate English course. Vocational.
職業の、
Attend a vocational school. Masculine.
男らしい、
Common masculine pastimes. Feminine.
女らしい、
Dress in a feminine way. Superfluous.
余分な、不必要な、
Cut back on superfluous spending. Utmost.
最大限の、
Be of the utmost importance.
contemplate, 熟考する、予想する、contemplate the transience of life, ponder, 熟考する、ponder theories about outsourcing, meditate, 瞑想する、目論む、meditate under a tree, conceive, 思いつく、conceive of hypotheses and of ways to test them, speculate, 推測する、登記する、speculate on the existence of God, presume, 推定する、前提とする、presume her friend's innocence, proclaim, 宣言する、証明する、proclaim victory over germs, disclose, 公表する、disclose personal information, pledge, 誓う、担保にする、pledge to become a member of the club, exclaim, 叫ぶ、exclaim loudly about something, subscribe, 予約購読する、subscribe to a golf magazine, mourn, 悼む、嘆く、mourn the death of his mother, resent, 憤慨する、resent his remark, lament, 嘆き悲しむ、後悔する、lament our misfortune, pant, あえぐ、渇望する、be panting from a long run, suck, 吸う、suck a lemon, soak, 浸す、浸る、be soaked in water, render, ある状態にする、与える、be rendered unconscious by a blow to the head, rotate, 回転する、循環する、回転させる、rotate on its axis, pierce, 貫く、穴を開ける、洞察する、pierce a hole in the paper window, carve, 掘る、切り開く、carve a statue, divert, 注意などをそらす、迂回させる、divert our attention from a difficult problem, expel, 追放する、吐き出す、be expelled from the Garden of Eden, assault, 暴行する、攻撃する、assault him on the street, intrude, 侵害、侵入する、intrude on my privacy, addict, 受け身系で、凝る、中毒になる、be addicted to surfing the net, coincide, 同時に起こる、一致する、their honeymoon which coincided with my business trip, ascend, 上がる、ascend a staircase, surge, 殺到する、急騰する、surge through the gates, evaporate, 蒸発する、消散する、 蒸発させる。A pool of slowly evaporating water. Expire. 期限が切れる。A tourist visa which expires next month. Ferment. 発酵させる。発酵する。Use fermented dough to make bread. Merge. 合併する。融合する。融合させる。Merge with another trading company. Erect. 立てる。直立させる。Erect stone arch bridges. Bless. 恩恵を与える。感謝する。Be blessed with a good supply of fish. Prestige. 名声。形容詞的に名声のある。The prestige of the elite law schools. Aristocracy. 貴族。貴族社会。支配階級。The residual aristocracy. Statesman. 政治家。An experienced and respected statesman. Senator. 上院議員。Senators and congressmen. Creed. 信条。Regardless of gender, race, or creed. Vigor. 活力。迫力。His apparent vigor. Dismay. 落胆。狼狽。To the great dismay of everyone. Melancholy. 憂鬱。The general mood of melancholy. Agony. 苦痛。苦悩。Go through such agonies. Anguish. 苦悩。After months of anguish. Conscience. 良心。Against my conscience. Contempt. 軽蔑。恥辱。Feelings of hostility and contempt. Scorn. 軽蔑。軽蔑の対象。Feel scorn for practical jokes. Apathy. 無感動。Fall into apathy. Textile. 織物。繊維。繊維産業。Export cotton textiles. Symmetry. 対象。調和。The symmetry of the building design. Verge. 瀬戸際。橋。On the verge of extinction. Cavity. 虫歯。虫歯の穴。空洞。Have a big cavity. Bribe. 賄賂。Pay bribes to avoid obeying regulations. Riot. 暴動。The protest riots that took place in Haiti. Exile. 亡命。亡命者。追放。国外追放。Live in exile in England. Archaeology. 考古学。A leading scholar of Egyptian archaeology. Specimen. 標本。実例。The huge collection of specimens. Ornament. 装飾。装飾品。The vase used as an ornament. Apparatus. 器具一式。機構。An apparatus for keeping coffee warm. Flaw. 欠点。傷。Have fatal flaws. Eclipse. 日食。月食。失墜。A lunar eclipse observed in Japan. Astronomy. 天文学。The modern developments in astronomy. Aviation. 航空。航空学。A career in the aviation industry. Velocity. 速度。With a velocity of 100,000 miles per hour. Congestion. 混雑。Worsen traffic congestion and air pollution. Questionnaire. アンケート。Those who answered the questionnaire. Parasite. 寄生虫。Flush the parasites out of the body. Personnel. 職員。人員。All the personnel in the sales department. Advent. 出現。到来。The advent of the computer and the internet. Token. 印。代用効果。商品券。A token of friendship. Premium. 保険料。プレミア。As life insurance and pension premiums. Discreet. 資料分別のある。A delightful and discreet lady. Wary. 用心深い。Be wary of making mistakes. Grim. 状況などが暗い。表情が険しい。A grim fact in many regions. Solemn. 厳粛な。真剣な。Dress formally for solemn occasions. Skeptical. 懐疑的な。Be skeptical about the eco-friendly movement. Dubious. 疑わしい。疑って。Dubious proof that salt doesn't cause high blood pressure. Vain. 無駄な。うぬぼれた。Make a vain attempt to win. Reckless. 無謀な。顧みない。His arrest for reckless driving. Ruthless. 無慈悲な。断固とした。無茶な。A quick and ruthless hunter. Eloquent. 雄弁な。説得力のある。An excellent and eloquent speech. Furious. 激怒した。猛烈な。Become furious with him. Weary. 疲れ果てた。うんざりした。Look old and weary. Pessimistic. 悲観的な。Be pessimistic about the future. Cynical. 霊障的な。A cynical piece of anonymous verse. Wicked. 邪悪な。いたずらな。Play the role of the wicked political leader. Singular. 驚くべき。奇妙な。単数の。Make a singular achievement. Weird. 異様な。In a weird sort of way. Literal. 文字通りの。散文的な。The literal interpretation of Macbeth. Explicit. 明白な。 率直な make explicit what they think, implicit 暗黙の内在する the implicit rules for behavior, slender ほっそりしたわずかな with a slender finger, gross 早計の甚だしいそやな spend 63% of the gross domestic product, ultraviolet 紫外線の ultraviolet rays that are harmful to life, spatial 空間の develop a sense of spatial awareness, vacant 空いている search for a vacant room, spacious 広々とした雄大な in a spacious lounge, ample 十分すぎるほどの広い ample time to think over the problem, affluent 裕福な豊富な the buying power of affluent households,
Infer.
推論する
The facts inferred from these data. Discern.
理解する識別する
Seek to discern his thoughts. Allege.
主張する
Allege that he is innocent. Ascribe.
原因を何々に帰する誰々の策と認める
Ascribe his success to hard work. Prescribe.
処方する規定する
Prescribe the medicine patients need. Comply.
従う応じる
Comply with international standards. Abide. Abide by.
で従う我慢する住む
Abide by the rules specific to sports. Plead.
嘆願する弁護する申し立てる
Plead with him to stay in Japan. Preach.
説教する
Listen to the priest preach. Intrigue.
興味を持たせる陰謀を企てる
Be intrigued by that article. Reconcile.
一致させる和解させる
Reconcile economy with ecology. Intervene.
介入する介在する
Intervene in the children's quarrel. Restrain.
制止する規制する
Restrain them from using violence. Humiliate.
自尊心を傷つける
Feel humiliated by her remark. Reproach.
非難する
Reproach her for her aggressive behavior. Condemn.
非難する受け身系で有罪を宣告される
Condemn the terrorist attack. Defy.
反抗する拒む
Defy social conventions. Revolt.
反逆するムカつく
Revolt against high taxes. Impair.
損なう
Impair our ability to think. Inflict.
害などを負わせる
Inflict serious damage on the economy. Degrade.
価値を下げる降格する
Degrade the environment with pollution. Deteriorate.
悪化する悪化させる
The gradually deteriorating weather. Corrupt.
堕落させる買収する堕落する
The social climate that corrupts young people. Contaminate.
汚染する堕落させる
Be contaminated with chemicals. Oppress.
抑圧する悩ませる
Refuse to oppress ethnic minorities. Thrust.
押し付ける押す
Thrust the letter into his pocket. Embark.
乗り出す乗船登場する
Embark on a new project. Inspect.
点検する視察する
Inspect what is being dug up. Summon.
呼びつける
Summon the flight attendant. Testify.
証言する
Testify at the trial. Persecute.
迫害する苦しめる
Persecuted individuals and groups. Coerce.
強要する
Coerce them into construction work. Unleash.
抑えていたものを爆発させる
Unleash a storm of protest. Emancipate.
解放する
Emancipate these countries from poverty. Endow.
授ける寄贈する
Be endowed with special musical talents. Scrutiny.
精査監視
Come under scrutiny. Analogy.
類推類似
An argument based on analogy. Preoccupation.
没頭先入観
His preoccupation with making money. Retrospect.
階層
In retrospect. Conceit.
うぬぼれ
Be full of conceit. Fallacy.
誤った考え虚偽
The popular fallacy about dieting. Hypocrisy.
偽善
Condemn the hypocrisy of the politician. Nuisance.
厄介厄介なこと人
A nuisance to the neighbors. Delinquency.
非行犯罪
Examine the causes of juvenile delinquency. Hostage.
人質
Release the hostages. Lawsuit.
訴訟
A dramatic increase in lawsuits. Attorney.
弁護士代理人
Qualify as an attorney. Warrant.
令状十分な根拠証明書
Issue a warrant for his arrest. Testimony.
証言証拠
Testimonies by several witnesses. Verdict.
評決評価
A verdict of not guilty. Sanction.
制裁認可
Be subject to social sanction. Superstition.
迷信
Dismiss the idea as a superstition. Folklore.
民話民族学
The academic study of myth and folklore. Anecdote.
逸話
An anecdote about his works of art. Rhetoric.
習字習字法美辞麗句
Rhetoric in works of literature. Stall.
露店、失速、
A fruit and vegetable stall. Segment.
部分、
A large segment of the population. Synthesis.
合成、総合、
The synthesis of stress proteins. Cohesion.
結束、結合、
Reinforce the community's cohesion. Heredity.
遺伝、世襲、
Scientific experiments on heredity. Catastrophe.
大災害、破局、
How to avoid such catastrophes. Plight.
窮状、
Our country's economic plight. Solitude.
一人でいること、孤独、
Live in solitude. Ordeal.
厳しい試練、
Undergo the ordeal of losing a job. Tyranny.
暴政、専制国家、
Fight against tyranny. Censorship.
検閲、
Impose censorship on books. Hygiene.
衛生、衛生状態、健康法、
A duty to improve hygiene. Doctrine.
政策上の主義、教義、
The doctrine supporting globalization. Diplomacy.
外交、外交的手腕、
Appreciate the peaceful diplomacy. Entity.
実態、
Exist as a separate entity. Sovereign.
君主、ソブリン金貨、
The present sovereign of the country. Authentic.
本物の、信頼できる、
An authentic work by Matisse. Legitimate.
合法的な、妥当な、
A business which is totally legitimate. Intelligible.
理解できる、
A prose style hardly intelligible to anyone. Inherent.
生来の、
The inherent dignity of human beings. Ingenious.
独創的な、利発な、
Ingenious devices invented by Japanese. Intricate.
複雑な、
An intricate neural network. Homogeneous.
均質の、
Create a homogeneous world culture. Monotonous.
単調な、
Eat a monotonous diet. Incessant.
絶え間のない、
Incessant civil unrest. Perpetual.
ひっきりなしの、永続的な、
The perpetual noise of traffic. Imminent.
差し迫った、
Be in imminent danger of collapsing. Plausible.
もっともらしい、
Accept his plausible explanation. Arbitrary.
恣意的な、
Make an arbitrary decision. Preliminary.
予備の、準備の、
The preliminary stages of the contest. Deficient.
欠けている、
Be deficient in important nutrients. Subordinate.
下位の、副次的な、
Be subordinate to human beings. Feudal.
封建時代の、封建制度の、封建的な、
Documents on feudal history. Obsolete.
廃れた、
A word which is becoming obsolete. Mortal.
致命的な、死すべき、
Strike a mortal blow against the government. Monetary.
金銭的な、金融の、
A painting with no monetary value. Extravagant.
浪費する、法外な、
Be extravagant with electricity. Dizzy.
めまいがする、当惑した、
Feel dizzy at the sight. Juvenile.
青少年の、
The rise in juvenile crimes. Anonymous.
匿名の、
An anonymous donor. Compatible.
互換性のある、矛盾しない、気が合う、
Be compatible with most computers. Ubiquitous.
至るところにある、
Ubiquitous electronic devices. Divine.
神の、神に捧げる、
A symbol of divine power. Sober.
シラフの、節度のある、
Stay sober over the reception. Zealous.
熱心な、
Be zealous in chasing my dreams.